Today's show was made possible by a lot of people. Our amazing producer, Maria Wertel, both of our mothers, our interns, and as always, Solange Knowles. But you know who else we would be proud to partner up with as a sponsor of an episode? You.
If you own a business and you'd like to work with us, or you work for a brand that you think could be a good fit, contact us at FYI@she'sallfatpod.com. Another big change in that time has been moving. Like I talked about on the show before, I went to college, graduated, went back to Minnesota for 6 months and just was having a full spiral. Then got a job.
Did anyone have a successful transition from college to real life?
Even the people who had a job after graduation were burned out.
Yes.
You just spiral. I just spiral.
Oh my God.
Sisters, hush those diet culture whispers. We like your body big or small, rolls and ripples all for all. Sit on down, it's time to chat. She's all fat.
I'm Sophie.
I'm April, and this is She's All Fat,
The podcast for body positivity, radical self-love, and chill vibes only. On this week's interseason minisode, that's now a long minisode.
a full sode.
We'll discuss how I went viral, Maggie Rogers, and change. April.
Yes.
Wow, are you a ghost now?
I'm doing ASMR.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
You're not supposed to sound like a ghost unless you're doing a ghost roleplay ASMR, which honestly would watch.
Would watch?
Yeah.
Listen, you never know. I'm always open to a side hustle. Pickle lady in town. You know what I mean?
I do not like the mouth noises. I don't like it. I like tapping.
Okay.
And I like gentle whispers. Anyways.
All right.
How was your Christmas?
My Christmas, let's see. It was a nightmare only because if you support us on Patreon, then you may have heard in some other extras we've done that my mother is intense. She's a lot. And so this is the first year that she's been on her own for a little bit because my grandma went back to Liberia in the fall. My sister moved out to LA with me. And so it's kind of like she saved up all of her nagging for when we got home. So it's like our flight landed, we had a really good meal. And she's like, and another thing, have a baby and do this and clean my whole house and cook this. And we're having 10 people over. And then it's just
oh my
it was
God.
too much. So it was really exhausting, actually.
Jeez, I'm so sorry.
The good thing was I got to spend time with my family. Minnesota is a nice place to be at Christmas because it's it was snowing and it was really pretty. My mom has a fireplace, which is nice. And I got exclusively nightgowns for Christmas, which is cool because I love nightgowns and a robe.
Are they all floor
nice.
length like your other nightgowns?
Some of them are. Some of them are a set, a little jammy set. Some of them are lingerie.
Some of your nightgowns literally look like you're a little girl who is it's like a World War II movie.
Yes.
You're from London. You just got sent out to one of those houses in the country because London's being bombed so much.
Oh my God.
You're staying with some kindly old lady and she's like, "This is all I have. Sorry." And you're in this huge nightgown.
I really do have a little princess-esque nightgown.
Yeah.
Almost exclusively. I'm not sure why, but that is my sleeping vibe. So yeah, my holidays were just fucking exhausting. How about you?
Oh my God. My holidays were also good but tiring.
Mm-hmm.
I was back in Phoenix, and as always, good to see my family and Victor's family. Everyone in my family does listen to the podcast, so can't say anything.
The truth. I feel it was great. I love you all.
It was awesome, and nobody was bad, and everyone was great. No, it was generally very nice to be with my family. We were just there a couple times when we were all cramped in a little bit, and that can just be a lot when you're used to having your own space.
Yeah.
As I get further into my 20s, I get a lot better at going home for holidays because in my early 20s, I think what you consciously tell yourself is I don't want to go home and be told what to do. But really, I think what it is you're not confident enough yet and your adult sense of self and going home makes you feel like you're a teenager again.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like that anymore. I feel like I have an adult relationship with my mom now.
And that's a hard transition because sometimes it's even if you're there, your parent may not be.
Yeah.
Especially, I know a lot of first generation kids like me, it's it doesn't matter how old you are, your parents are never going to see you as an adult.
Oh my God.
My mom literally acts I'm 3 months old and it will never change. So it's just kind of how do you find a way to make peace with that and enjoy being home when my mom's literally just you need to make your bed. I'm
I'm 26 years old. I'm an adult.
It's hard, you know? It's tough.
Yeah, I hear that. I will say that my mom has done, like, an amazing job at trying to consciously, like, we've both consciously worked on, like, how do we want to set up our adult relationship now, you know? I'm trying to be better about this because always after Christmas, it's like, I want to call my mommy every day.
Yes.
And then I'm, like, 3 weeks in and I'm like, oh, no, I didn't do it this week. But it was nice to hang out together.
All
Do
right.
you have anything else to say about Christmas?
I'm glad it's over.
Yeah. Well, now that we're done with all of that, and we both actually do really love and appreciate our families, what are you obsessed with this week, this month, the beginning of this year?
Okay. So much. I'm obsessed with so much. So number one, Into the Spiderverse. So this was one of those things that was like hyped on the internet. I think it came out at the beginning of December.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, it's going to change your life. It's going to change your life. I didn't get a screener for it. So I'm like, But then I was like, I have to pay to see this.
That's the most LA thing
It
you've ever
really
said.
was. So I have not paid for like, it's been nice. But so everybody was hyping it. So of course my like skeptical antenna went up. But me and my sister were like, okay, we gotta see it. It's a black thing, so we gotta see it. So we go to see it this weekend. I shit you not, I cried for hours.
You cried?
I cried to the point where my sister was like looking concerned, and people were like walking by, like people were like, have
They
you
were
seen
like,
it yet?
this isn't even Paddington 2.
Yeah, like it was. I cried way harder at this. Like, have
my
you seen
God.
it yet? And I
Yes.
don't want to spoil it for anyone at home. But so, I mean, the movie is just visually beautiful, which we knew from the trailer. Like, it's just stunning, and the voice actors are all actors that I love, and the story is incredible. But it just really took me out because, like, one of my biggest triggers, and I'm not going to cry right now, but
my
one
God.
of my biggest triggers is just, like, representation. And the whole movie is, like, so clearly about, like, the importance of representation and, like, mentorship and all that shit. And there's just, like, this scene at the very end where he just says, like, you know, anyone... I'm going to start crying.
Oh, my God.
He's like, anyone can wear the mask. Part of the Spider-Man struggle in this movie is that, like, he becomes the Spider-Man. The Spider-Man before him was this, like, 26-year-old blonde white guy, and he was like, how can I be Spider-Man? I don't look like that guy. I don't know what I'm fucking doing. Like, I don't have any of the tools. I just all of a sudden am, like, very sticky. Like, I don't know what's going on. And so by the end of it, he, like,
Honestly,
finds...
a metaphor for puberty. TBH.
Literally, yeah. So that by the end of it, he, like, has figured out a way to be Spider-Man that's his own style, and he has, like, powers that nobody else has. He's not like the other Spider-Man, but he, like, can fulfill the job, and he just, like, encourages, like, the audience at home, like, you know, you could be the Spider-Man too. Anyone can wear the mask. Like, it's not just me. You know, it's like, I can't imagine a kid seeing that and being like, oh my God, I'm not gonna start crying. But anyway, so like that.
Oh my God, you're literally crying. April's literally crying.
I'm fine.
April loves Spider-Man representation. It taught her that she could be a Spider-Man.
It just took you, like, I wasn't expecting it, like, to hit me so hard.
Oh my God.
But, like, he said that. He's just, like, chilling with his, like, beats, you know. He's just, like, he reminds me of my nephew. Like, that's exactly what my nephew looks like. And he has the same haircut, which I told you I'm concerned about.
Yes.
But, like, and he just, like, it just really hit me that it's like, wow, you know, kids are going to grow up and they're going to feel like they can wear the mask too.
Oh my God.
And I was just burst into, like, it wasn't like I'm about to cry. It was like, I'm sitting and I'm fine. And then I'm crying, like, hard. And my sister was like, are you okay? And everybody looked concerned, but just, like, it took me out. It was incredible. You
my
gotta
God.
see Into the Spider-Verse.
I'm so glad that it meant so much to you.
It killed me.
I thought it was beautiful. I thought the story was like a little... I mean, all superhero stories are like a little bit predictable.
And there's,
you know
like,
what I mean?
so many moving parts in it. There was a chunk that I didn't know what was going on, but that's fine.
Yeah. I feel like it did a better job than many other kind of superhero movies I've seen at giving the main character, his name's Miles, right?
Yeah.
Like, they didn't make him make decisions and change, like, in a second. Like, they let him, like, really feel it out and, like, struggle with things that, like, a teenager faced with something really big would struggle with.
Yeah. Like,
you know?
I really felt like I understood him and related to him.
And the real April comes out, she's just a big softie.
I don't like that. I'm not crying right now.
You are crying right now. You're crying right now thinking about it. Oh my
Fine.
God. Unbelievable. I love that. You're so cute.
No.
It's very cute. And it's cool that you're part of making that representation change. Like, you're making other kids see they could put on the mask.
No.
Oh my God, April.
I really, really couldn't do it.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
You're going to be in a writer's room for a black show one day and just come crying every day.
Like, it's not good. Just, like, really crying right now.
April.
Go ahead.
You're okay.
I sat there, like, to the point where, you know, the teens who work in the movie theater, like, come in with the broom.
Yes.
I was, like, still crying. They're like,
so cute.
ma'am, can you move your legs?
Oh my God.
Sorry.
The part that I was represented by was Spider Pig, played by
Oh my god,
John Mulaney.
he killed the role.
So funny. I loved that part.
He honestly ate the role of Spider Pig. It was so good.
funny.
And Nick Cage. I mean,
Yes,
I loved
crazy.
it. I
Oh my
loved
God.
every moment of the cast. It was so good.
Yeah, I loved it. I
Please
agree.
see it. Into Spiderverse. It is nominated for an Oscar, which we'll talk about in one of our special Patreon-only minisodes. If it doesn't win the Oscar, I'm going to commit seppuku.
Stop.
I'm doing it.
Oh my God.
It needs the Oscar, I insist. But so my next obsession is a podcast that I discovered through a humiliating means. Okay.
You're really exposing yourself on this episode.
I'm really exposing myself. Okay, so to backtrack, if you didn't know this about me, I was a musical theater kid in high school.
Yes.
I was absolutely that girl. The final musical that we did was Seussical the Musical,
Right.
which is a humiliating musical that at the time I took very seriously. I was up for the role of Gertrude, which is the female lead. I did not get it. It went to Amanda Miller. Amanda Miller can fucking choke. Leave in her name, Maria.
Oh my God.
So I saw this video on Twitter of this guy doing his interpretation of what if Mariah Carey wrote a song for Seussical the Musical.
Oh my God.
And it's and again, you wouldn't get it if you haven't seen Seussical the Musical.
I have not seen Seussical the
or if you haven't
Musical.
seen just any Dr. Seuss movie with music or whatever. But so it's just so incredible. I'm gonna find a link to it. But so I saw that and I was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. Then I clicked his profile and I saw that he had a podcast and I was like, gotta subscribe to the podcast. I love the podcast. So it's called Los Culturistas.
Okay.
So his name is Matt Rogers and his co-host is Bowen Yang, who is a writer on SNL.
Yeah.
He's awesome. I don't know why I've never discovered this podcast. It's all my favorite stuff, where they just talk about pop culture every week and they invite somebody on and talk about their first piece of pop culture that they were obsessed with. And that's it. And I just love it.
awesome.
I think they're so funny. They do a good job of being intersectional. They're both gay and they both love theater and all the shit that I love.
That's so fun.
It's so good. So the episode that I love the most is featuring John Early, who is my favorite comedian. I note often. So good. But I just can't believe that I never heard of this podcast until he was like, if you like Seussical the Musical, and I'm like, I'm listening.
Unbelievable.
It's humiliating. Every time I listen to the podcast, I'm like, I have my answer already. If you just want to ask me to be on your podcast, if any of you know Matt or Bowen, just tell them to hit me up at aprilkqueo.com. I desperately want to be on it.
God.
And my final obsession of the week is another one of my garbage reality shows. If you just have no moral compass and you love trash, and you love people being exploited
Oh my God.
for your own personal enjoyment, I would recommend Love After Lockup. Here's the show.
Is that what it sounds like?
What do you think it is?
It's about people dating in prison?
Yes, and then they get out, and then it's we're getting married.
Oh my God.
So all of them start with
this sounds so exploitative.
It's so
April.
exploitative. It literally is take every inch of your morality and your politics out of it. This is pure entertainment.
Oh my God.
So every episode starts with I met him on a website, and then they show the website and it's lockeduphotties.com.
What?
It's I was looking for somebody to just put money in the commissary, whatever, for me, and then we fell in love. So they're all of them are openly so I was just looking for somebody to give me money so I could buy hot Cheetos.
Oh my God.
And then we fell madly in love. So then they say whatever their crime was, and then they get out, and then the person will meet them and be we're getting married tomorrow, I love you. The funny thing about the show, and of course chaos ensues, the funny thing about the show is that usually the person who is the problem in the relationship is not the person who was a felon, but more the person who pursued them.
Well, yeah.
Because it's
what kind of person are you if you're my ideal relationship is with someone who has not only committed a crime, but is not available to see at this moment at all?
Exactly. The problem with all of them is that they have this expectation that they can control them, because it's you're not going to cheat on me or leave me if you're in jail, and then you're a felon because you're dependent on me.
Wow.
So they're I want to be,
fucked.
it's fucked up. So I want to be in a relationship with somebody who's fully dependent on me. And then they get out and they're well, I want to be with you too, but also I'm a fully formed human being and I want to have friends and see people, and they're you want to have friends?
Oh my God.
And then a lot of the women will be I'm bi and I had a girlfriend in there, and then the guy's I'm gonna kill her.
Oh my God.
It's just they are always the problem, and their families will be you're gonna let a felon into your house, and then they get out and it's nope, actually he's the problem.
Yes.
Because he's controlling. And they purposely sought out only felons, because they're well, I can't make a relationship IRL work, so guess I'll get this woman who committed years of credit card fraud, and she'll never leave me.
Well, I mean, it's a lot. You have a lot of control if you can decide how much money you put in their commissary.
Yeah.
You get to go see them only on visiting days, and you can just email them or whatever. Like that is like the ideal situation for somebody who wants to be A, controlling, B, have limited contact, and C, can only put on like a normal face for some of the time.
Yes, exactly.
You know?
So it's so horrible. Most of the relationships don't work out, obviously. But I cannot look away. So I'm watching that.
Wow.
So those are my obsessions. What are you obsessed with this week?
Okay. Well, first, I have my own immoral reality show to talk about,
Perfect.
which is called Back with the Ex.
Fantastic.
It's on Netflix. I think it's Netflix produced, but it's like Australian. You said you didn't watch it because you don't like Australian accents.
I'm so sorry. And again, like,
We
Danny,
do have
I love you.
in Australia.
I know we have so many, and I love y'all
and
so
New
much.
Zealand,
I
which
love
is
y'all
similar
so much.
but different.
I struggle with the accent. It's the only thing.
You just have to be like me and just constantly have subtitles on because I can't even understand American English either.
Yeah, absolutely.
But okay, so the concept of this show is just like different couples, four different couples where they broke up like several years ago, and then one partner in the couple is like, I want to give it another shot, and then they've like, the show has contacted the other person and been like, will you give it a shot? And obviously they're like, okay. And they show up, which is like weird because all of them have like, it's like they've all split up for very legit reasons. Like part of the reason it's interesting is that a lot of dating shows that are reality shows, it's like people who've never met each other before. Yeah. But these people have so much history. Yeah. And it's like the reveals come from real history that you didn't know about yet. You know what I mean?
So it's like more raw.
Which makes it interesting.
It is a good idea. It's just, why did you choose to do that to yourself?
Wow.
On TV. But I will be watching once I can just work through that just element of struggling.
Yes. Okay, I have a couple more faves. Okay. I went viral. It's just not a fave of mine. It's just still happening. I would like it to stop. I bought a big coat. I didn't realize it was going to go viral. And I'm pissed about how many people screenshot the picture of me and zoomed in on the fact that my sock had a hole in it and my toe was poking out.
I cackled when I saw that.
So many people
This is what happens. So listen, you cannot participate in the internet game. You're going to go viral.
I can't believe it. And then I was written up in like the Mirror and all these British tabloids. Yesterday it was like Indian tabloids. And I was just like,
worldwide.
And all these comments were like, wow, if I was going to post a picture of myself on the internet, I would have changed my socks. And I was like, I didn't know this was going to happen.
If I were trying to go viral, I would have cleaned and put good socks on and taken off my plantar fasciitis thing.
It's like, I thought 5 Hannahs and like my 2 friends would like it, you know?
Hilarious.
I didn't. Okay, whatever. Okay. The next thing, I'm going to put a link in the show notes to Maggie Rogers, who I think we both like. Her music is great.
Obsessed. I don't know how I missed this.
Next thing, just a little recommendation if people need some calming YouTube videos. Have you ever watched the Bon Appetit Test Kitchen videos? These videos are them playing around trying to recreate fun foods.
Oh, okay. These get recommended to me all the time.
They're really fun.
It'll be like she's going to make a Pop-Tart or something.
Yeah, like I thought it was going to be boring, but then I watched the one where they're making, she's trying to make Snickers. And it's interesting because she's like, okay, first she tastes it and she's like, okay, I'm tasting this. Like, here's how I want to make it. Here's the changes I'm going to make. Like, here's what I think would be better. And then I'm trying to recreate it like as faithfully, but as a homemade recipe. And then she like tries a couple different variations. It's just like the right combination of interesting and calming. And she'll like talk to her coworkers. She'll be like, what do you think I should do? Like, blah, blah. But it's just like kind of a very well produced, like, cook with me video, basically.
I like that a lot. I gotta click.
It's fun.
YouTube,
I like it.
Honestly, YouTube knows what I like, and that really scares me because these get recommended all the time, and I just never clicked, but clearly I'll like it.
I thought it would be boring because I don't usually like cooking content, but I enjoyed it because, like, they're clearly very knowledgeable about what they're doing, and so it's interesting to see them try to noodle it out, you know?
Would you ever, like, when you see the final product, do you think, like, I want to eat that?
Yeah.
It looks good?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. For sure.
Right.
Okay, and then finally, you know this trend on Twitter, or I don't know if it's a meme quite, but I've seen a couple of people do this where it's like, I guess because of some music video, I don't know how this became a thing. Some music video got put out where they felt like it was very incongruous with the music.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
Wait, let me click the thing you've put in.
Okay, well, wait, but this is an iteration of it that I thought was really funny.
Okay.
Another pretty face.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah, I know. I don't really understand what's going on at all, but I just thought it was really funny.
Is this a meme? Yeah, I love things like this because I don't even know how to categorize it. I just think that's so funny.
Like, it seems like they made a video in order to lip sync to
I
Jesse
think that's what
McCartney's beautiful
happened.
song.
They made like a high production value music video, and she's twerking, and he says, "Beautiful soul."
I love it. It's
love
really
that.
funny.
Fantastic. I love the internet.
I know. So those are my faves for January, basically.
Fantastic. We've had a lot of faves. We've had a lot saved up.
Yeah.
I'm happy to share all these with y'all.
Me too.
And with that, we should really get to the meat of it, don't you think?
Let's do it.
The meat of it. All right, so we've arrived. By the time this episode comes out, this meme will be long dead.
Yes.
But I thought this just occurred to me. But I thought it might be fun to do our own version of the 10-year challenge. If you are not a youth on Twitter, or I guess Instagram too, the 10-year challenge has been purely just millennials posting a photo of themselves in 2009 and a photo of themselves in 2019 and being like, LOL, time has passed.
Yes, basically.
But I thought it could be cool for our purposes to think more thematically about change and how we've dealt with change in the past and in the future, and to talk about how we've changed in the past 10 years.
Oh my God.
So right before we started recording, I scrolled all the way back in my Facebook and found a 2009 pic, and this is exactly how I was in 2009, and I want to see yours.
Okay.
Let's show each other.
How old are you now?
I'm 25. I'll be 26 in April.
So you were 15.
I turned 16 that year.
Okay, wow. Okay, let me see.
And I want to see yours. Let's switch on 3. Ready?
Okay, wait. Let me pull mine up.
Okay.
Ready?
1, 2, 3. Wait, what the hell? Can we switch laptops really quick? What?
Oh my God.
Here, we're switching rose gold laptops.
Wow.
Okay. Captain Jack.
Okay, please describe what you're seeing, and then I'll describe mine.
Okay, so I'm looking at a photo from January 13th. Oh, this is 2008, so this is slightly early. That's okay. It's a young Soph and her sister Izzy in black dresses. Izzy's has 2 clenched fists, and you're taking a photograph with a Johnny Depp impersonator. Which why are there so many Johnny Depp impersonators?
I don't know.
There's an abundance of them.
This is on a Disney cruise that we took as a
see.
family. I just felt like this felt very of that era to me.
This is great. There's tension in your face. You seem uncomfortable.
I am thin, but think I'm fat here.
You're wearing a baby doll dress, which I think we all were in 2008. This is fantastic.
Isn't it funny?
Wait, how old were you in this picture?
Well, I was 18.
Okay.
Or
Incredible.
17, yeah. Dang. Okay, so this photo of you.
Okay.
You look like an Atlanta Real Housewife in this photo.
Look at the date. Look at the date on it.
April 17th. Is this your birthday?
It's my sweet 16.
Oh my God.
I insisted on having a sweet 16, blowout.
Oh my God. Okay, April is wearing a
quinceañera dress.
a very complicatedly strappy dress that's bright green. Mm-hmm. Clearly has a satiny skirt and the what is it called? Not embezzled. Bedazzled?
Bedazzled, yeah.
Bedazzled, underboob area. And Absolutely. It's all strappy. And then your nails are bright red. And you have, one of those fake tennis bracelets that we all had. Mm-hmm. And then you have your hair in braids with loose curls at the end.
I think so, yeah.
And then you have bright pink eyeshadow on.
and I'm holding.
And you're holding...
It's so
a T-Mobile sidekick.
A T-Mobile Sidekick 3 and a Domino's pizza menu.
Incredible.
It's exactly who I was.
Incredible. Oh my God.
My God.
I love it. Can see the baby stretch marks on your arm.
Absolutely.
Can see you have a little white flower pin. I'm going to post both of these on the Instagram when they're
ridiculous.
So you guys can go look. Your eyebrows are more thin.
I bet they were thin, yeah. Let's talk a little bit about what we were 10 years ago.
Oh my God.
Wow. So yeah, as I mentioned, the photo I'm sharing is from my sweet 16 birthday that again I insisted on having. And I think I had marketed problematically. I think I had marketed it as my black girl quinceañera. If I'm having a hard
April.
I know. Anyone else who went to Park Center in 2009, let me know if that's how you had received the invitation. Embarrassing. But yeah.
You just decided you could do that?
I just decided I could do that and nobody said anything.
Cool.
Yeah, at that time, I was like a theater nerd. I was making a lot of documentaries at the time. Like I knew I wanted to do TV and film and I was trying to figure out like in what way. And so I was just like shooting a lot of stuff. I had a job at a bagel bakery that I hated, and there was this rule where if you got the order wrong, then you got to keep the bagel.
Oh my God.
And like we made bagel sandwiches and stuff, so a lot of times people would order something and I'd be like, oh, did you want a cinnamon sugar bagel? Oh, you didn't? Oh, sorry about that. And then I would just like keep the bagel. So I was just like eating a lot of bagels. I was really
the original
mean.
scammer.
I was a really scammer. I was like really mean to like everyone around me.
Oh my God, April.
Gossip Girl had recently come out and I'm like, I'm Blair Waldorf.
Oh
like
my
I
God.
really fully like stepped into that role. But I miss this girl because she like knew exactly what she wanted and I was just like really like relentless. Like I remember just being like saying things to people like, you're not gonna get in the way of my dreams.
Oh my
like
God.
seriously saying things like that a lot. I think when this picture was taken, I just got back from Chicago from like touring Northwestern for the first time and I was like, I'm going there.
Wow.
I'm gonna do it. Yeah, that's what she was like. What about 10 years ago, you?
Oh my God. I mean, 2009 was like a big transitional year for me because it was like graduated high school and went to college. I worked so hard in high school, just like all the time. And I had done a similar, like I went to Stanford and I was like, I want to go here. And then I worked really, really, really hard, got really lucky, you know, had all the privileges, etc., and got in. And then I felt like that was a moment, maybe like the only moment I've ever had where I felt like I worked really hard and then I made this happen and I deserve it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't think I feel that way anymore about achieving really big things per se. But I just felt like I worked really hard and I deserve this. And then I had a hard senior year just because like I felt very done with the rest of my high school.
Oh my God, same. I went through that.
Like a lot of kids in my class, there's like a group of 30 people in the class who hung out and like to drink after the summer after. And I just was like, not a part of that, not like invited to stuff, not like, I don't know. It was because I was dating my boyfriend. I didn't do like theater stuff senior year like I'd done every other year. And I just was kind of like, I want to go. Like, I'm done. I want to go. You know, I was so excited to get to college. In retrospect, I wish I had like taken a gap year. Like, I wish I had like rested for a while. And then when I got to college, I was very nervous. I gained a bunch of weight senior year and like had, you know, I was in the throes of like the binging part of my eating disorder. And I was like, scared to get to college and feel unattractive because at that time I did not have like a body positive mindset.
Yeah.
And again, in retrospect, I'm like, I wish I could just be constantly as chill about things as I am like 5 years in the future. But at the time, I'm always like, I'm scared, I'm nervous, like I'm so self-conscious, like, you know? And I got to college and I was very, very excited to be there. But then in college is when like a lot of issues with my ADD started coming out. And so, yeah, I don't know. Freshman year was fun, but like very hard. I felt very excited about life and like excited about what adulthood would be like and like what I would do in college. And I remember freshman year, I remember like fall of 2009 going out on the little balcony that was like on the third floor of the dorm where I lived and just being like, I'm here.
Oh my God.
I'm in college.
Absolutely. Oh my God. I had so many moments like that. So my first year of college was 2 years later. I remember at some point it was like the first snowstorm of the school year. We were in Chicago, so it was like winter. So I remember just like standing outside my dorm and it was like really hard snow. And I was with my friend Leo when we like ran inside my dorm to like have whatever safe covering and just like looking at the snow in Chicago and being like, life is incredible.
I know.
Like, we're alive. We're 18. This is amazing.
I love those moments.
That was incredible. I'll like remember that forever.
Yeah,
like
same.
just like the possibility. Because I feel like I still have that, but the way that I was like, nope, can't wait for the future at 16. Now I'm like, what is, I'm like, the future.
Same. Like I did
what is the future?
Exactly. Like before sophomore year in college, I did a thing called comedy camp where we did like improv and sketch stuff. And I literally made a Word doc called like memories I want to keep forever from the last 3 weeks. Like I was like,
so sweet.
You know, just a lot of growth.
Just hard growth.
Hard growth.
I mean, people always say you couldn't pay me to go back. You could pay me to go back to 2009, but it would have to be like $20 million.
I mean, you could pay me if I could go back with this brain.
Yeah, that would be oh my God. Wow.
Like, I'd kill it.
There's so much. I should have been in therapy in 2009, but I was not. My body stuff was like out of control. That was the year that I was really obsessed with this guy, and like it was such a mess. And I was like, the only reason why we're not together is because I'm fat. Like I think we talked a little bit about this in our fat friend episode from a couple seasons back. But like so much of my self-worth was just tied up in my body at the time. Yeah. And I'm so happy that that's like mostly done.
Me too.
That was fucking hell.
I do feel like the internal glow up has been huge.
Iconic.
You know?
Internal glow up has been huge. So now I kind of want to get into discussing how we've gone about making some of those changes that have been intentional in the past 10 years, how we've thought about change, how we've approached change, maybe how we've like helped other people try to accomplish change. Changes, you know? Yeah. So I'm trying to think, what are some of the biggest changes I've had in the past 10 years? A big change has been control, and this is something that's ongoing, but 16-year-old April really, really, truly believed like body, life, everything was fully in my personal control. Yeah. I was like, everything that I don't have is because of a shortcoming. Everything that I do have is because I have it, you know what I mean? And I worked for it or whatever. And I think so that's been an intentional change I've had to make over the years, because it's like hard to live your life like that, because if you believe that, then you'll be harder on yourself for not having things that you think you should have or whatever. So as far as how I've gone about some of those changes, for me, it's just kind of trying to be really intentional. So it's kind of like I have to interrupt my patterns of thinking a lot, because maybe 16-year-old April me would be like, you need to be this size and that's in your control, and you'll do these 10 things and then you'll be that size. And now I have to like sort of interrupt those thoughts that come in, and I might be like, you know what, maybe I'll be a different size at a different point, but I have to acknowledge that like I have way less control over that than I previously believed. And that's the case with a lot of other things. Like even if it's like career stuff, it'll be like, maybe past me would have been like, if you did XYZ 10 times, maybe you would have that job. Whereas now I have more of a understanding that there are like other elements working outside of my control, and that has been freeing, but also that has been hard for somebody who always had the mindset of like extremely type A and just like I can do it, and if I can't do it then that's a failing. Another big change in that time has been moving. Like I talked about on the show before, I went to college, graduated, went back to Minnesota for 6 months and just like was having a full spiral. Then got a
Did
job.
Anyone have a successful transition from college to real life?
Even the people who had a job after graduation were like burned out.
Yes.
Like you just spiral. Like I just spiraled.
My God.
So just was having a spiral, and then got a job and had to move. And I think I handled it well, because I think in other times it was just kind of like there was so much up in the air, and I would have freaked out about not having control over every element. But this time, how I approached this change was being like, okay, here are the elements that I can control. Where I live. I knew Nina lived here, and I was like, Nina, what's going on? And she's like, my roommates happens to be moving out. And I was like, great, could handle that element. Knew where I was working. Beyond that, I was like, who knows? And I just kind of like accepted that I didn't know and did my best with what I did know, and I think it worked out well. But it was hard.
And then we met.
Yeah. And then we met like the next day. Yeah. Like after I moved here. But I think I handled it well, just because I like accepted that I wasn't going to be able to control every aspect of it, and things really fell into place in a way that I never could have predicted and had no control over. But the intentional part was just being willing to jump, I think, was the biggest thing that I might not have been able to do in the past. But that I was able to do this time, and it worked out.
That's super deep.
Hell yeah, man. We're
Look at
deep.
that.
Gwyneth
Look at that
Paltrow
self-knowledge.
at me.
Oh my God.
Come for me, bitch. What about you?
I feel similarly to some things. Like I also, when I was younger, was able to do a lot of things through just sheer force of will and smarts, basically. Like I said, in college, like that stopped working for assignments because I didn't have a lot of the skills I needed to have, because when you're smart and you've already read all the books in a class in high school, like it's not that hard to shit out a 3-page paper the night before, you know, but you can't do that with a 15-page paper.
No, they'll know.
There were a lot of things in my personal life that I did do, like in my childhood with like my parents' divorce and stuff that I was like, nope, I'm not accepting this, and like I'm doing this and this is what's gonna happen. And like when that stopped working because I was like more grown up and there are like fewer things that would work with just sheer force of emotional will, like that was really hard for me because I felt all of a sudden like I was failing at a lot of stuff instead of seeing the truth, which was like you need to develop different skills. The like strength that I have in like being determined to do something is like a necessary part, but it's only like a part of what will make you successful, you know? And like I had to learn how to forgive myself for like not knowing things or like needing help with things or being damaged from things or like, you know, I had a hard time for a while with being like, but why am I failing at this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of being like, well, you're in a different situation now and you may need to use different things, like the things that worked before. Like it doesn't mean that you're less than now that they're not working in the same way. And that was hard to figure out.
Yeah.
It's not that things feel perfect now. It's that I feel more confident in my ability as an adult to work on things. Like it took until I was 28, almost 29 to feel like a real adult. You know?
Absolutely. Everyone says like it's like you turn 30 and then you're like, I know who I am now and I know how to do stuff. Until then, I feel very far from that.
Yeah.
I'm truly not there
I
yet.
definitely feel a lot closer than I did at 26, 25. Not that I like did anything different the last 2 years. It's just that it takes like, it just feels like you're slogging through mud sometimes in your 20s.
Absolutely.
It's like, oh, gotta keep moving.
Absolutely.
You know?
Oh my goodness.
It is. Literally 28 is the first year that I really felt that way.
I can't fucking
Yeah.
wait. I cannot wait. Okay, so next thing on the list is, since we're doing an episode about changes, Maria, drop the clip.
Turn and face the strange changes.
Changes. Do you know that?
Yes.
Okay. God. Just making sure.
Oh my God.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about a change
Changes.
that's coming up for the next season of She's All Fat, which is forthcoming. Remind me to tell you a story about the word forthcoming on Twitter. Anyway.
Oh my God.
Which is forthcoming. So I will not be a full co-host on the next season of She's All Fat. I'll be taking a step back. I'll still be doing my weekly obsessions, which I'm really excited about. And I already have a list of like 40 obsessions.
Oh my God. Good.
So get ready.
Yay.
But I will be taking a step back, and Soph will be soldiering on without me, which I'm really excited to hear. But I will be taking a step back to deal with some of the health stuff I've been going through. As you guys know, there's been some shit going down. And I don't have my same 16-year-old body for some reason. I don't understand why. But I am somebody who's always had like, for some reason I like can't operate on 2 hours of sleep anymore. I don't know what's up. I am somebody who's always had like 40 jobs and enjoy it and get fulfillment from all of it. But I have come to the realization that a change is necessary and that I need to have one less job. 39 jobs, I think, would be good. So I can take some time to take care of myself and my shit and get back to my full capacity, hopefully. I'm not dying or anything. I'm just dealing with some like chronic illness stuff that I still don't really have answers for, that I would like to have answers for, because it is inconvenient.
I would like that as well.
It's quite inconvenient.
Yeah.
Sophie's been very patient and supportive of me as I've like... Well, yes. As
I'm
I've
like,
had,
could you figure out your health like now?
No,
Could the doctors hurry the fuck up?
Patient in the sense that you're like, sure, I'll pause recording so you can go, pee bubbles, which is one of my symptoms.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
So all that to say, yes, a change coming up is that I am taking a step back from She's All Fat. I'm not disappearing. I'm not dying. I don't hate Sophie. None of those things. But I am really grateful to have a partner like Sophie who supports me and is excited to do the next season, which I'm excited. I told Soph, like, after we talked about the change, I had a dream where, like, it was that scene in Mean Girls where I was watching Soph on stage and I was the mom and I was, like, recording it. Literally, that's going to be season 4. So I'm going to be like, did you hear that shit Soph pulled in the last episode? It's fucking iconic. That's what it's going to be.
That's how I felt when you did your stand-up that I came to.
Oh my God, that
I
was
literally
so sweet.
tapped the person next to me and I was like, that's my friend.
Oh my God. That's so nice. Oh my goodness. So that is the energy I'm bringing to season 4. It's just like Amy Poehler and Mean Girls energy.
Oh my God.
I will be here. Our team members, I'm so excited to see them take on more responsibility and do some really cool shit next season. And I'm excited to see where it goes, you know? I'm excited to take this change for me. It's something that I've never been able to acknowledge, which is that I can't do a million things at once before I'm like, actually, I can do everything. So,
I mean, honestly, you maybe could have held out a little longer if you didn't have these like chronic health things happening. But even before they were happening, there were many times when like we'd meet up or something and I'd be like, what, like before we started the pod, I'd be like, what are you up to? And you're like, I did this and I did this and I have to do that. Also, this is falling apart and I have to fix that. And then like, I got to fly here. I was like, whoa.
I was like,
holy moly.
Looking at my old calendar. So like when we started working on the podcast was the spring of 2017. And at that time, literally, this is my daily schedule. I would like get up at 4 o'clock in the morning,
oh my God,
right till 10 a.m. Then I was like working at a Postmate as a Postmate at the time, like in between seasons of shows. So I'd be a Postmate till like 4, maybe come over to Sophie's house, work on the podcast till the evening. Then I would like go to a works, drink with somebody, come back at like 11, write for another hour, sleep for 4 hours, and do it again.
Literally. It was very confusing because I'd get like texts or emails from you at every single hour of the day.
Yes.
And I'd be like, but when do you sleep? And you'd be like, haha, NBD. And I was like, what?
Sleep when I'm dead. I used to say stuff like sleep when I'm dead.
Literally.
I used to say stuff like no days off.
And I'd be like, haha, okay. But now that like, then when you got sick, it was like, you're like, I can't
for some reason, my alarm went off at 4 a.m. and I didn't wake up.
You know what? It's honestly like the chronic illness stuff is obviously a bad thing.
Yes.
But maybe in the end, once they figure out what the fuck's happening, it'll be like a part of your next 10 years of like reevaluating your relationship with work and like pushing yourself and shit.
I definitely think I hope that that's the outcome. I'm sure a lot of like children of immigrants can relate to this, but I just have this like sense that every moment of the day needs to be spent productively, or like, what the fuck are you even doing here? And like, why did your parents come here productive? Like have 15 literal jobs. Oh my God.
But rest is productive for you.
Rest is productive. Yeah. Self-care, as we talked about in our episode last season, is productive. And figuring out like what you want and what you want to spend your physical and emotional and creative energy on is really important. And I am taking that lesson to heart and trying to apply that to my life.
Yeah.
So this is where we are. I'm really excited, like I said, to hear season 4, and you will be hearing my deep voice in every episode with my obsessions, and there's more fun stuff to come. Yeah. I can't wait to keep listening. You all better keep listening. It's going to be fucking incredible.
I'm really glad that we've had the 3 seasons as they are. I'm excited for an experimental season 4, and I'm excited to see what happens with season 5 and beyond.
Fuck yeah.
So now here is a little preview of what I have planned for season 4. Maria, play that clip. Hey Fatmily, Sophie here. We're switching things up this season, and I hope you're ready to go on the journey with me, because I'm pretty excited to share with you Season 4, Sophie on the Street.
We're getting tattoos about being sisters.
Holy moly. I am so excited to talk to Julie Murphy.
Hey family, it's Lynn, the fairy intern mother, and I'm back.
So how does disability intersect with fatness?
I was hooking up with someone over the summer and she consistently would be like, "You're so hot."
This season, we'll be exploring body positivity and fatness through more reported episodes. I'll talk to scientists, doctors, lawyers, crafters, thespians, activists, authors, and my family and friends to get to the bottom of the questions I have about the way our bodies move and dance and love and learn in this world. Careful. That's how you brown butter.
And now I'm gonna pour it off.
Looks pretty. Brown.
Let's talk about sex, baby.
All right, let's get this tattoo.
Since starting college, I've thought a lot more about how my body's been politicized.
We'll talk about tattoos, CBD, YA novels, costumes, siblings, college, family, massages, religion, YouTube. We've got a lot to cover. It's gonna be a real fat season.
Yeah, remember when we were at Disneyland and that little girl bumped into me and then she looked up and was like, "You're so tall."
So we hope you'll come along with us. Season 4 of She's All Fat, Sophie on the Street will be premiering in March. The rest of February, our Patreons will be getting extra clips and minisodes, and during Season 4, our Patreon members at Team I Love Bread will also be getting Ask a Fattie minisodes every week with some extra special guests.
Hello, Maria.
Hi, Izzy. Hi, Julie. Hi, Alex. Hi, Anne.
Hi, Lynn.
So how about it? Leave this chubby pod on your feed and tune in next month for our 4th season. She's fatter, furiouser, and fully researched. Season 4, Sophie on the Street.
She's all fat.
We cannot say enough just how much we appreciate everyone's support. I don't think we ever could see that coming, like the amount of people and really thoughtful and just sweet human beings who genuinely cared about us and let our voices into your house and into your Priuses and embraced us and supported us. That has meant so much to me in the past 2 years that we've been working on this.
Me too.
And so I just want to say a big thank you. Y'all have made a real difference, and I cannot thank you enough.
And
you're the best.
I feel confident that our listeners and our Patreon, our family, will be supportive of you as you like take your next step into figuring out all this stuff, and like still follow you and love you and be like proud of you for like making this necessary change for your life so you can stay alive.
Stay alive 2019.
Stay alive.
Staying alive. Wow.
Oh my
Maria,
God.
you got to drop the clip. So sorry, but you must drop the clip.
Oh my God.
Jeez.
Yep. So that's the meat of it for this week. We have solved the 10-year challenge.
Iconic.
You're welcome. Oh my God, are you so bad you don't have to do that anymore? I hate doing that.
I'm so bad at unison. I'm so bad at unison. I can't.
Oh my God.
Yikes. And now it's time to Ask a Fattie. If you want advice, you can send a voice memo of yourself asking a question to FYI@she'sallfatpod.com. You can record it on your computer or the voice memo app on your iPhone. Just keep it short, about 1 minute max. Or if you're shy, you can send us a plain old email at FYI@she'sallfatpod.com, and we might answer your question right here on the show. This week on Ask a Fattie, we have a very special letter from Hannah.
Hi, April and Sophie. This is Hannah. For those of us who have already listened through all of SAF, I was wondering if y'all have any recommendations for other body positive, feminist, social justice oriented podcasts that we can listen to whenever we don't have an SAF episode available. So yeah, whatever y'all like to listen to, or just anything else that can help keep educating ourselves and staying engaged, I'd really appreciate y'all's advice. Thank you so much.
Hannah, first of all, thank you so much for listening to us. Can't believe you've listened multiple times when I have to grit my teeth to listen one time.
That's very nice. And there are podcasts that I listen to several times, so I can't believe we're that for somebody else.
That's wild.
That's really nice.
Dang. So first of all, yes, you can, I'm going to link in the show notes like our Christmas favorites or our holiday break favorites episode, because we listed a bunch in there. Mm-hmm. Also, I'm going to put a link to our resources page on our website, which if you want to navigate there on your own, like a big girl, you can, or boy, or a big non-binary person.
A big them.
A big them. That, I really hope some influencer has that. The big them. If you want to be a big them, you can go to www.she'sallfatpod.com. You see our faces. You scroll down past our banner for our Big Fig mattresses. Click on it. Use the code SAF to save. We love our big figs. And then you click on the resources tab, which is on the bottom shelf thing. And then you scroll down a little bit, and we have a whole section there for you of other Body Pause podcasts. We started like a whole list before we even premiered our first episode. And just as people email us to let us know about other ones, or as we find other ones, we add them here. So there's some that are no longer updating, but their archives are all up, so you could listen several times through to those. There's the Food Psych podcast, which April and I have both been on, which is fun. That's linked
Christy's
there.
very cool.
Christy's incredible.
We support.
If you want another podcast that has like a pretty similar vibe in terms of like someone very calmly talking to someone else, like Christy's very calming to listen to, and I think asks like very perceptive, good questions. It's like a really nice listener. We haven't added this one on here, but there's like this one that I found that I have to listen to called like The Body Positive Witch or something like that.
Okay, so just for you then.
Yeah.
Someone made a podcast explicitly for you.
Yes.
Perfect.
So we have a bunch on here, and there's also, if you scroll even further down, there's a bunch of like body positive and fat positive books there, and a bunch of those have audio books.
Okay, a couple other sort of like specifically feminist oriented podcasts I could recommend. No Man's Land by The Wing. Have you been listening to this?
No.
Okay, so The Wing started their own like podcasting department, obviously. This one is cool because it's about bad girls of history and their like secret feminist side. I really love it. I think it's really well done. I'd also recommend Sip on This by Ashley Nicole Black. So Ashley is a writer on Samantha Bee's show. She also went to Northwestern, go Cats. And so it's the whole podcast is like our Ask a Fattie. Like she takes questions and she'll give advice, and then she'll bring someone else in to give advice for the same question, and then she'll ask her guest for advice. It's like very cool. She's intersectional feminist and like really militant, which I appreciate about her. I would recommend that one.
I don't think we've recommended See Something, Say Something, which is now. They are done, but you can listen to the archives. This is like feminist relating. I have enjoyed listening to Bad with Money, which is a Panoply podcast that Gabby Dunn, former co-worker at BuzzFeed, makes. Certain episodes more than others are like more feminist bent.
Okay, my last recommendation is, so The Cut has a podcast called The Cut on Tuesdays, which I love. I might have promoted on the show before, but they also have The Cut on Thursdays, which comes up on the same feed.
Okay.
But so The Cut on Thursdays is cool because they pick a woman who works in media and they just ask her like how she gets it done based off their like, they have a column about that on the actual
cool.
cut. So it's cool because a lot of women will come on and be like, how I get it done is like, I have a nanny, like I employ another woman to take care of my children.
Yeah.
Or how I get it done is like, my husband quit his job and he takes care of our kids, and like I have an assistant. Like it's sort of women openly being like how they're able to accomplish their like success is by like depending on other women in their lives.
Wow.
It's very cool. So I love that. Sarah Koenig just did one, which
I
is
love
cool.
her.
She says how she gets it done is she doesn't have any social media at all.
I mean, yeah.
But she does it.
Oh, as always, we stand Nancy and CYG, but
Of course.
y'all already know that. Now I'm just going to shout out like a bunch really quick. That's like The Nod, The Stoop, and Uncivil. Okay, another like finished podcast, I think, but that the archives are still mostly very good to listen to, is like Lena Dunham's old podcast, Women of the Hour. She's not in everything if you like, hate Lena Dunham or whatever, but like she's really good at creating shit, and I really liked a lot of those episodes. Another Round is also done, but like their archives are really good. Still processing. They're still going, right?
Oh, that they just started a new season, and it's so good. They have an episode all about like Colin Kaepernick and like really getting into
They're awesome.
cultural significance.
They're writers who work for
New York Times.
New York Times? Okay. Yeah, and did I say Code Switch already? Code Switch and Still Processing are like part of that. They're both also part of that like Black culture creators, basically.
Very cool. And I would also head to the show notes tab on our website and just click through. We're always talking about
recommend
podcasts
pods all the time.
We're big fans of pods, constantly listening to pods. So you'll find a lot of recs there to tide you over.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Hannah.
Enjoy. Now let's move on to It's Okay You Can Ask, a segment where we ask the silly, big, and small questions.
I loved that. Usually I write that, but
yeah, you usually
I
write
love how
them
you
and
did
you
that.
just make me write. But we're not talking about race today.
I make you read something humiliating.
Yeah.
You're like, who's Flava Flav?
I know what Flava Flav is.
Sometimes I know you know, and I still make you say it.
You don't think I watched Flavor of Love? I did.
You did.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you. Going with our theme of the episode, which is change in the 10-year challenge. Soph, where do you think I'll be in 10 years?
Okay, so when you're 35 and 3/4, I think you will be running a show.
Oh my God. Fingers crossed.
I think you will have one or more bionic body parts.
Absolutely.
At that point, the technology will have advanced.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
I also think you will have a wig line.
Oh my God.
Or hairline of some sort.
Wow.
Like,
you're dreaming big for me.
Well, yeah.
I appreciate it.
You are very passionate about helping other women of color with their hair.
Very true.
And you want to spread your knowledge of hair to like other people who you think don't do their hair well.
Absolutely.
The way I think it'll happen is you will be interviewed for writing on some show or for like appearing on some show. Like, you know, in my dream, it's like the She's All Fat TV show. And then you're like interviewed in something and there's like all these memes of you go around because you say like funny things.
Okay.
And one of them is you say something funny about like bad hair.
Okay.
And then like somebody contacts you to make like a hairline
based
off of how viral that goes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then people are like, whatever, like, fine, like, she thinks it's bad hair. And then you make the line, and then everyone's like, oh my God, though, like, it's really good.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Why have I never considered this for myself? This really is a passion.
But, like, you know, I think you probably handle it the way that the Kardashians handle their businesses, which is you just go in and you're like, make it look like this.
Yes.
And then you go back to what you're doing.
You're done.
Okay. Also in 10 years, I think you will have one boyfriend. But, like, I don't think you'll be ready to commit.
Don't tell that to my mom. Mom, skip this part. In 10 years, I'm still not ready.
I think in 10 years, you will have had some relationships.
Okay.
But I still just think you'll be, like, just ready to date, like, someone for serious. And I think you'll still be like, getting rid of the, like, last guy you dated.
Oh, my God.
You're going to be like, oh, like, whatever.
Wow, this is a glamorous life you've painted for me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think that you will have a different car.
Okay.
Don't know what kind, because I don't know what kind of car you like.
No car, because I hate driving.
I will. I think you'll have a vanity license plate that I will have gotten you.
Okay.
And it'll be some joke, and you, like, will kind of hate it, but you put it on your car because, like, you know my feelings would be hurt if you didn't put it on your car.
Absolutely.
And then every time you go on the lot, you're like, yeah.
Okay. I really can see that crystal clear.
Okay. You live in a house in the Valley, I think.
Okay.
Or in Pasadena, like one of the two. And your mom has an apartment here.
Nice.
And, like, but she, like, complains that you're not taking her to, like, nice enough restaurants.
Perfect.
And so every time you go into the writing room, you're like, oh my God, my mom, blah, blah. And, like, one of the things your assistant has to do is, like, do stuff, like, take your mom's stuff to the dry cleaning, whatever.
That sounds very real. Wow.
I also think by then you will have kind of, like, a coterie of, like, cool people around you. And I think you'll have organized some sort of, like, either official or unofficial, like, mentoring thing for, like, young Black Hollywood.
I love that.
What do you think of that version of 10 years
That
from
sounds like my perfect life.
Good.
Like you've predicted my perfect life. Not my mother's perfect life for me. She'll be terrified.
And I think you'll be planning to get your veneers.
Oh, you don't think I have my veneers yet?
I think you've been too busy. You're running a show.
That's true. You do have to take time off for the veneers.
But like,
oh
you
my
have
God.
the money for it, and you're like, next break, get ready.
Honestly,
and
they're
you keep
so high
talking
up.
about how huge your teeth are going to be.
I want to not be able to close my mouth. Like, I want huge
But
porcelain veneers.
You have gone in for like a lot of like facial treatments,
Okay,
and so
perfect.
you're always like, I'm not wearing any makeup.
It's like, do you see a pore? I didn't think
Yeah, exactly.
so. Wow, you've truly envisioned my perfect life. Okay, let me pull up for yours. Okay. I made a top 3 things I think you're doing in the, what is it, 2029?
Yeah, Jesus. God.
Does that even sound like a real year?
No, because I think that's when, like, the sandstorm is supposed to, like, have taken over North America or whatever.
Horrifying. So my number 1 thing I think you're doing is asking me to help you do your mixed race child's hair.
Oh my God.
I think that goes without explanation. Yeah. And listen, I will be ready and willing with a wide tooth comb, a spray bottle, a leave-in conditioner, a sealing oil, a hot oil treatment.
Oh my God.
I'm there.
I'm there. By that point, let's see, in 10 years, so maybe the kid they'll be like at least 5 or so, but within a few years from that, they'll be texting you on their whatever device, and they'll be like, Auntie April, like, Mom won't wash my, and I'll be like, just text her. I can't do it.
You won't even get involved.
Like, she does it better. I know she does it better. Just text her.
True. I'm gonna get a Gleek glorp from your child that's like, can you take me to Inglewood so I can get my special conditioner? And I'll be like, yeah.
I don't like it when Mom takes me. Everyone looks at her weird.
So sad. So sad. So I definitely envision that, which is so exciting. Number 2, I envision you mentoring other Sophies. I can see you, like, because you've talked about before, like, your struggle to find a dedicated mentor that's not, like, mean for no fucking reason. Yeah.
Yes.
And I could see you, like, taking an active stance on fixing that for the next generation. I just imagine you, like, at a beautiful brunch with other Sophies, and they're just, like, talking about their feelings. and you help them sort of center their energies and get stuff done.
I love that.
That could be so exciting.
We both saw each other mentoring people.
Yeah. I think that's something, I think we're feminists.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Care about the world.
Yeah.
It's important. And then the third thing, I have a very clear vision of you producing a Tamara Pierce book.
Oh my God.
Would you ever do that? Like, adapt one?
I 1,000%
Wouldn't that
would.
Be perfect?
Yes, but the thing is, like, it would have to go through, like, a total rewrite to take out any of the, like, weird racist shit.
Absolutely. Which you could totally be on top of. And just have a calm conversation about why maybe it wouldn't work for this medium.
Exactly.
You could have a conversation about that. I think I could see you doing a really cool adaptation. That sounds like fun, right?
I would love that. In 10 years, can we go on a girls' trip to Bali?
That's all I want. Okay. And then come back and tell everybody I found myself. That's what I want.
Yes. You bring back some sort of appropriative artifact to, like, hang on your wall.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like, that's from my trip. That was, like, beautiful. I was, like, barefoot the whole time.
I was barefoot the whole time, and I just came back, and I'm so, like, centered, you know what I mean? My, like, vibrations are sky high at this point. Mm-hmm. That's what I want. Mm-hmm. Jeez.
I also hope we've both deleted all our social media by then.
Oh, here's hoping. Honestly. Tired of the trash.
Well, this sounds like a good version of the future. I thank you for sharing yourself 10 years ago with me.
Yes. My sweet 16 teen monster self. She was the worst.
That's incredible. I'm afraid of her.
You should be. She would tear you apart.
She'd be nice to me.
She was so mean.
Thank you for sharing your vision of me in 10 years. I really like that vision.
Me too.
And thank you for sharing this present with me. I think we did a great job on our first 3 seasons, and I'm excited to see where season 4 goes.
Me too. I'm ready with my camera. Give me forward. You're the best.
Love you.
Love you too.
Bye. And that's our show. Be sure to check out the show notes for links to the stuff we mentioned today, and don't forget to send us your questions via email or voice recording to fyi@shesallfatpod.com.
Please make sure to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. It's super important in making sure people find the show. If you leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, we'll give you a shout out on the pod next week.
She's All Fat is created, produced, and hosted by us, Sophie Carter-Khan and April K. Quio. We are an independent production. If you'd like to support the work we do, you can join our Patreon by visiting patreon.com/shesallfatpod. When you pledge to be a supporter, you'll get all sorts of goodies and extra content.
Our music was composed and produced by Carolyn Pennypacker Riggs. Our website was designed by Jesse Fish, and our logo is by Britt Scott. This episode was mixed and edited by Maria Wortel. Special thanks to our fairy intern mother, Lynn Barbara. Our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter handles are @She'sAllFatPod. You can find the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and wherever else you get your podcasts.
Bye!
So smart.
Wow. Okay, branding. Okay, sorry. Anyway.
Always branding. Oh my God, capitalism.